Hi guys, this is Tom from freebetstats.com. Welcome to my walkthrough video for Bet365 £200 sports betting bonus. This offer awards new Bet365 sport players with a 100% matched deposit bonus up to a maximum of £200. It's a big offer and also one of the most profitable available. As with all of my videos, I recommend you watch this one through to get an understanding of the free bet, and then rewatch it following the steps on how to take advantage of the free bet. This screen here shows the Bet365 offer terms and conditions on the right. I've pulled out the key ones along with the win rate statistics on the left. You can see that we should expect to make a healthy £140 of profit from the offer, which is equivalent to a 70% return on investment. I will cover the numbers in further detail towards the end of the video. In order to qualify for the offer, the player needs to sign up to Bet365, make a deposit of between £10 and £200, and then enter their unique offer code, which will be emailed to them after they sign up. As the bonus awarded directly correlates to the first deposit amount, we recommend players deposit the full £200. There are two key facts to be highlighted in terms of clearing the bonus. So the first one is that to completely clear the bonus plus the deposit amount needs to be played through 3 times. It's therefore key to never deposit more than £200, as anything over this amount does not generate any extra bonus amount, but it does generate higher clearing requirements. Assuming the player does deposit between £10 and £200, then this clearing amount is more simply put as 6 times the deposit. So for the maximum £200, this equates to betting £1,200. The second thing to highlight is that once the deposit amount has been played through once, the bonus amount can then be used to bet with. So this is beneficial for the player as it reduces the player's risk. So let's take an example. If the player did deposit £200 and got £200 free, and then they made £200 worth of bets, and let's say they made 200 small bets and they won half of them and lost half of them roughly, and they still had exactly £200 at the end of that. They can now bet with their bonus money, which will have been released. If the player then goes on to have a bad run and lose £200 in a row, they would only lose that bonus money. They still have their original money intact. So, should the player wish to exit the offer and withdraw their original £200, they could do so without incurring any penalties. Only bets with odds of 1 to 2, 1.50 decimal or greater will count towards the offer. Bet365 also accommodates players for the opening offer who use e-wallets, for example Nutella or Moneybookers. So we advise players to sign up using freebetstats.com and see if we have any offers available on e-wallet accounts. Finally, the player must clear the bonus within 90 days, else it will be forfeited. I'll now run through the steps required to take advantage of the free bet. First, we need to clear our cookies. This is important to ensure we use the correct sign-up link so that we're eligible for the bonus. To do this in Internet Explorer, I'll go to Settings and then Internet Options, and then under Browsing History I'll go to Delete, and here I only need to have the cookies and website data checkbox checked and then Delete. In Firefox I'll go to Options and then History, Clear Recent History, and then the drop down I'll put Everything and Clear Now. In Chrome I'll go to Settings, hover on History and then click History here, and then Clear Browsing Data, and in the drop down I'll select the beginning of time, and I just need cookies and other site and plugin data checked, and then Clear Browsing Data. Once our cookies are cleared, we will move on to the second step, which is to make an account, make a deposit, and then bet. Once that's done, we can navigate to freebetstats.com, and once that's loaded we can click on Bet365, and on claim your free bet now. This should open a new tab with the Bet365 homepage, and we click on join now. So this form can be filled out. I'm not going to go through this, it's pretty self-explanatory. We don't need to put, importantly, a bonus code in here. That'll actually be entered after we've signed up and made a deposit, which I'll come on to shortly. Once the previous sign up screen has been completed, the user will be taken to a deposit screen. So this can be filled out to make a deposit, and as per earlier in the video, we would recommend going for the maximum £200, but anything between 10 and 200 will be eligible for 100% bonus. Once this has been completed, you can click on the make deposit button down there and that will finalise. Once the player has completed registration and made a deposit, they will receive an email which will go to the email address they used when signing up, which will have a offer code in it, which will end in the 5 digits and characters NCDB2. So to activate the bonus, the player needs to go to services and then members, and then click on offers and enter that offer code that was emailed to them in this box here, and then press submit. Once that's been completed, the £200 bonus or whatever was deposited will be awarded, and that can then be used, and you'll also see details of it in the bonus history tab. So next I'm going to cover the numbers behind this free bet. So I'm going to run through this table on the left first, and you can see that in this table I've assumed that the odds of the events that I'm betting on are evens 2.0, so the same as a coin flip, and therefore my assumed win percentage is 50%. Those two in effect come as a pair. So my deposit I would make for £200, and we've said that for a £200 deposit I must stake £1,200 total. So what I've said here is that for £600 of my stake I've won, and for £600 of my stake I've lost. So for the £600 that I've won, I've assumed that the bookie take a margin of 10%, and therefore I make £540 profit. And for the £600 that I staked that I lost £600. I therefore clear my £200 worth of free bets, and therefore I get a total profit of £140. That's my 200 plus 540 minus 600. This gives a return on investment of 70%. That's 140 over 200, my first deposit. What I'm going to come on to next is the topic of risk. So in a number of my other videos we discussed the option that players have of doing some match betting to reduce their risk. However, for Bet365's offer, there's actually a much better solution. So we've shown in this table on the left that we know we need to make a large number of bets. We need to bet £1,200, and we've also shown that the odds are in effect in our favour. It's a plus EV situation, and we expect to make money. In that scenario, the best way to reduce risk is actually to just make more bets of a smaller bet size, and that's what I'm going to discuss in this table here on the right, and it involves binomial distribution. So explain the content of this table. There's 5 columns here, and what they represent is different bet sizings. So let me run through an example. This first column is assume that I'm going to have a bet size of £100. It's got the same assumptions over here as well. I'm assuming that I'm betting on events which have real life odds of evens, and I would expect to win those 50% of the time. So my bet size is £100. I know I need to bet £1,200 total, meaning I'm going to make 12 bets of £100. Now this column, these cells are all calculated. This is the only cell which I'm changing in each of the columns, and it represents the number of bets that I win. So here, of my 12 bets, I'm saying that I'm winning 6. You can see the rest of the cells are calculating themselves, so if I change this value they'll change. So assuming that I do win 6, and I would expect to win 6 because these are even events that I'm betting on, so statistically I should win 6. You can see that I'm winning 50%, I'm losing 6, so I'm losing 50%. Again, I'm assuming that when I win, the bookie is going to make 10% profit from my win. So in this scenario, I win 6, I lose 6, I win £540, and then on the ones that I lose £600. However, I also clear my bonus, so the profit that I make in this scenario is £140. Now this sell has been called a minimum profit, and I'll explain what that means. And it's linked to the row below, which is the chance that I'm going to make money, and this is based on the binomial distribution. So this statistic here, 30, let's call it 39%, this is saying that 39% of the time I will make £140 or more, so that's the minimum profit. If I go and change these numbers, and to show you how this works, let's say that I'm going to only win 1 or more bets. This is what this statistic is showing. This is saying this is the chance of me winning at least 1 bet, and that's obviously pretty much 100%. I should expect to win at least 1 bet. So hopefully that makes sense. And what I'm going to do is move through these columns to a lower value and show what I mean by averaging out my bets to reduce my risk. So if I jump from having a bet size of 100 to say a bet size of £5 and run through the same example, again I need to bet £1,200 total, but this time I need to make 240 bets because this is obviously 5 times 240 makes 1,200. In this scenario, I've put that I will win 106 bets. So let me show you why I've done that. Statistically, I would expect to win 120 bets, and again, you'd see that in that scenario, I win our average £140. But what's significant about 106 is this is basically the tipping point between profit and loss. So 105, you can see that if I only won 105 of 240 bets, I would lose £3. If I win 106 out of 240 bets, I win £7. So again, coming down to this binomial distribution, the chances that I'm going to win 106 or more bets when I bet in £5 increments is almost 96%. So 96% of the time I'm going to make £7 or more in this scenario. Hopefully that makes sense. And what I would suggest to do, and what I did when I cleared this bonus, I actually went for a £10 bet sizing and I made 120 bets. So my chance of winning was 88%, and I did win. I can't remember how much, but I did win. So I'm hoping that all makes sense. I realise this is probably a bit more complex than most of the other videos. I'm happy to take any questions on this. You can email me via freebetstats.com or catch me on the live chat. And last but not least, thanks for watching.